What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we find ourselves on NBA 2K25 back in the modern era once again, and today we got one of the worst teams in the NBA up to this point. We got to fix that today. Of course, we have the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons clearly need some help. They do have a lot of good young talent, but it just hasn't resulted in anything successful just yet. So let's go ahead and jump in and do a Detroit Pistons rebuild in NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. So, of course, this team just went through Monty Williams. They hired him, gave him an absolute bag. Didn't really result in anything positive, unfortunately. The team was still pretty bad. They had Ivey come off the bench for killing Hayes at one point. It was just kind of weird. They did sign Tobias Harris this offseason, who will be a solid starter. He's not making like $40 million what he, like he did in Philly. They drafted, of course, Ron Holland. So they got some young talent to be excited about. Cade is still here, locked up for years. Jalen Duren's still a very young, intriguing center. Ivey is definitely an interesting piece because I feel like he's shown some promise, but there has been some weird moments with him as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rotation for year one. So it's Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Asar Thompson, Tobias Harris, Jalen Duren. I absolutely agree with his rotation. I'm totally fine with that. With Isaiah Stewart, Ron Holland, Malik Beasley, my apologies, and then Marcus Sasser. So yeah, I'm actually rocking with this. And then Hardaway and Paul Reed aren't getting any minutes at the moment, or Simone Fontecchio. So actually, let's fix this a little bit. Let's run a 10-minute rotation. So starting five will stay the same. That will put in Tim Hardaway in there. Paul Reed will be in there, and Malik Beasley will be in there. But I do want to play Ron Holland this year for sure as well, and Sasser. So that's going to maybe kick out. Maybe we have to kick out Tim Hardaway, but we might need him for his spacing. So maybe we have to leave. I guess we'll run 11 deep because I do want to play all these guys, and then that will put Ron Holland in and Marcus Sasser. So I guess, or sorry, that's 12. That's only 11. And then I guess we're gonna kick out Malik Beasley for Ron Holland. Although Malik Beasley also could be used for shooting as well. But regardless, I did want to get Ron Holland and Sasser some minutes for year one. So it's not going to be pretty. Year one will probably be bad if I had to guess, but maybe we surprise and make the playoffs. Proficiency is 3-star under defense. Bickerstaff was the new hire. So I guess 3 stars the best we can be. I guess we can go up to 7 seconds. So we'll run with that. And I will see you guys at the end of year one as always. I don't think I'll stop at the trade deadline to do anything. I think I just kind of want to see what this team can do. Maybe if I stop at the deadline, I'll show you guys, but I probably plan on just simulating the whole first season. Today's video is brought to you by two softwares designed to help you beat the sports books and become a much profitable sports bettor. We're starting on Daily Grind Fantasies Optimizer. So if you play on apps such as PrizePicks, Underdog, or any of these popular DFS apps, having a tool like this is insanely awesome to have, as it gives you good plays right in front of you without having to do any research. So on PrizePicks right now, there isn't a ton of value on the board at the moment, but we do have a few things. So you got Eddie Pinheiro under 6.5 kicking points. The reason why I like this is because it's an average odds of -138 across the board, and that's why this becomes a profitable play. We're just taking the data from the sports books and we're just plugging and playing it on PrizePicks. And you can look at Underdog as well, see if there's anything valuable here. Not a ton. You actually got birdies or better on Adam Sevenson. I mean, as you can see, FanDuel has this at -190, him to go under 5.5 birdies. So that's pretty valuable. Although it's a 1-to-1 comparison. Parlay play also has some data points on that as well, -129. So yeah, not a bad play by any means to plug this in. I also love OddsJam's positive EV tool. This primarily focuses on traditional sports books such as FanDuel, DraftKings, and I can see there is some FanDuel value. So player shots on goal on Pavel Busnanovic for the St. Louis Blues, +142. It wouldn't really make any sense to go to BetMGM and bet this at +120. Clear value to bet this on FanDuel at +142, which is why we like it. So if you want to check out either of these softwares, and if you play in any of these sports books, having these softwares can be really awesome to have to find good plays in those sports books you play. So make sure to check them out. Links down in the description below. Use code Crushables for percentage off your first month. On that, let's get back to the video. So unfortunately, at the end of year number one, we weren't very good. I will say we're better than usual. We won like 32 games, but still not a playoff team or a play-in team. So there's still a lot to work on here, but it is improvement nonetheless. But we need to go on a upwards trajectory. I think Cade Cunningham has had enough of being bad. So we really got to show him this offseason that we're going to be ultra aggressive and trying to improve this team and make sure we are a playoff team next year, which is going to be my ultimate goal. I want to be a playoff team as soon as next year. Detroit has been through enough. It is time to buckle down and make something happen. But here were your stats. So you had 26, you had 15 from Ivey. So literally outside of Cade Cunningham, no one is safe. I'm looking to get him a star who can probably space the floor a little bit because, as you know, Detroit has a bunch of guys that, in the starting five, they don't space the floor a ton. But we'll figure that out once we cross that bridge. So let's go ahead and see who wins the championship fairly quickly. and we get straight in the offseason and see where our pick will end up, because we'll be in the lottery again. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really don't want number 1 or number 2 today. The last few videos, I've been having insane lottery luck. I don't know what's been going on, but I've had the opportunity to draft Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey the last like 4 videos, it feels like. So hopefully I don't get that lucky today. If we do, I might be the psycho and trade it. I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm just getting these same players over and over again. So we're projected pick number 4. So let's see what happens. And we will not get that opportunity. We're going to drop to, where did our pick fall? Or we dropped to 8. So we get 8th overall, which low-key, weirdly enough, I'm very cool with that, because I really didn't want to take Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey today, to be honest with you. I know it sounds weird, but I've just been spoiled with them the last few videos, so I wanted to change it up and not get them today. So we'll keep Biggerstaff. I'm not really going to blame him. At least we improved a little bit. Let's go to draft night, though, and this is where it's all going to start. I'm going to look at all options as far as making a trade here, because, yes, we could draft, and it does make sense to just draft with the pick. Of course it does. But if we have an opportunity to upgrade and start to try to make the playoffs next year, that's what I want to do. It's got to be the right move, though, of course. You can't just trade for someone. I don't know. You can't just make the wrong move. You got to make the right move. Usually trading the pick is the wrong move anyway, but we'll take a look if I can try to justify it. So unfortunately for now, I really didn't see anything that I liked at the moment, so we're just going to go ahead and draft with this pick instead. So Cooper Flag goes to DC. Harper goes to Atlanta. Number 3 will be Nolan, and I assume Brooklyn will take Ace Bailey, which they do. Number 5 is going to be Trey Johnson. Number 6 going to be VJ Edgecombe. Number 7 is going to be Carter Bryant, which leaves us with, we could take the big man. We could take Hugo Gonzalez, who I have not drafted yet, and I think that will be the pick here. So I'm going to draft Hugo Gonzalez here. Have not got him in a video in 2K25 recently, or at least in 2K25, I should say. I think I've gotten him in 2K24, but I'm going to take Kwame Evans with this selection out of Oregon, and then we have another pick and another pick. Man, we are spoiled with picks here, so I'll take Carter Knox here, and then we'll be on the board again. So we're going to have like a pretty deep draft class, and we'll take Eisen here. So, well, welcome all of you guys. So I think we got, did pretty good there. I think we definitely have some, trade value if we wanted to make something happen. So Duran, I'm going to accept, despite him always being declined by 2K. I don't know why that's the case, but I'm going to accept all of these. And then qualifying offers, nothing going on here. So for free agency, I don't know if we have cast base, which we might. We don't have any cast base, so we're not going to be doing anything in free agency, it looks like, unfortunately. But if I look at this roster right now, so you have Caden Sasser, which I like. We just drafted Hugo Gonzalez, which to me, Ivey on an expiring contract. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it wouldn't shock me if Detroit ends up trading Ivey. I might look into that. I might look into it. We got to, of course, make it, make the right trade, because that gives Hugo the opportunity to start with Cade Cunningham, which I like the idea of. And then Asar, I still like him a lot. So him in small forward spot doesn't bug me at all. And Ron Holland will continue to develop behind him. And then once Simone is gone, Ron Holland will probably have that back in small forward spot locked up. And then Tobias Harris, obviously not our long-term power forward. And then Duran and Paul Reed as a center rotation doesn't sound too bad. So to me, if we could find a way to trade Ivey and Tobias Harris for a better power forward, that's kind of what I'd like to see us do. We're going to see if we could do just that, because I do think that could help out a ton. So we're going to see if we can make that happen here. I don't know if we'll be able to, but there's a guy that I have in mind that maybe we could make something happen with them, but we'll see. We'll see what pops up. So I'm trying to see if I get Jaren Jackson off the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm offering Tobias Harris, Ivey, and a first-round pick in order to try to make this happen. We have to throw Conchar's contract in here to match the salaries, but the reason why we're doing this is because we think Jaren Jackson will be our long-term answer at the power forward spot. Him and Duran as our front court sounds kind of awesome. We drafted Hugo. Jaden Ivey, like I said, his stint in Detroit has been a little up and down, so it wouldn't surprise me if they end up trading him. I know I could keep him, and he'd probably develop like crazy, and that'd be the cheat code to go out there and eventually win a championship, but I think it's kind of fun as well to try to make something happen here with Memphis. Let's see what they say. They say no to start things off here, though, with this negotiation. What if I threw a couple seconds at you? And they agree. Just like that, we throw 2 seconds, and we trade a first with Ivey. So, gave up quite a bit to get Jaren Jackson, but like I said, he is a former defensive player of the year. He'll be playing next to Jalen Duran. I really like them as our front court going forward. So, that gives Hugo the full role to the starting shooting guard spot. We got Conchar to back him up. And we got Paul Reed, Jalen Duran with Jaren Jackson as Isaiah Stewart. So I can rock with that. I know Hugo will be a really good player for us at that shooting guard spot. So this is what our offseason will look like ultimately. So we traded Jaden Ivey and Tobias Harris to get Jaren Jackson. Hopefully it ends up paying off. So Cade Cunningham is up, Asar is up, and then Duran is up, and Sasser is up. So all these guys developing really nicely, which is great to see. We love that. Wendell Moore and Bobby are also up down here. And then, if we go look at, obviously, Ivey, I'm sure he developed really nicely. So he actually only went up to 4 overall. He only went up 4 overall to an 82. So didn't really develop like that crazy. So maybe we didn't make the wrong decision. But of course, there's always next year where he maybe jumps up to like an 88 for some reason. But regardless, I'm happy with the decision. I think it could make some sense. I'm not sure if the Grizzlies would want to unload Jaren Jackson. But like I said, man, it would not surprise me at all if Detroit eventually does trade Ivey. So let's take a look see if there's anybody else I can cut here. So this is a two-way guy, so that's not going to count towards that. The clear cut to me is probably Wendell Moore, which sucks because I want to keep him, but we also have Carter Knox we could cut, I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll just cut Carter Knox. Doesn't feel great, but we had to cut one player. So now load this next year's draft class, and we'll get in a rotation going into season number 2. Of course, we ultimately made that move as well to show Cade Cunningham we want to be aggressive and we want to make the playoffs, which is why Jaren Jackson was traded for. So our rotation, of course, is Cade Cunningham, Hugo, Asar, Jaren Jackson, Jalen Duren, Sasser, Stewart, Simone Fontecchio, and Ron Holland and Paul Reed. So I don't think we need to run 11 deep this year. It'll be just a 10-man rotation, which is fine. And then hopefully we make the playoffs and we can make this 9-man rotation in the playoffs. So that is what it's looking like. Hopefully this pays off. I'm hoping it does. I think the Jaren Jackson trade will help out a ton. At least I hope so. He's an 86 shot tendency. Hugo's is a 70 of the draft, which I think is fine for a rookie. So we'll leave that the way it is. All right, let's go ahead and wait to the end of year 2 and hope that this year we turn things around and finally get Detroit back in the postseason. So at the end of year number 2, we do finally find ourselves in the postseason, as Sasser also gets most improved player, which is great to see. So I love that, but we are in the playoffs, which is awesome. Doesn't look like we have any all-NBA representatives here. No Cade Cunningham, unfortunately, but here's the all-defensive first team and all-defensive second team. So no Jared Jackson or anything like that. But we do get Hugo making all-rookie first team, averaging 13 points per game on 38% shooting from 3. Love that. Here's your all-rookie second team. So we ended up as the 4th seed in the East, which is great. Like I said, we're in the playoffs, which is awesome. That's what I wanted to do. 29 from Cade. You had 17 from Jared Jackson, 14 from Sasser, 13 from Hugo, and then 12 and 10 from Jalen Duren, 9 and 7 from Asar, 7 from Stewart, and then Simone was 6, and 5 from Ron Holland. So all around, pretty solid stuff. We do get Cleveland in round 1, which I'm not sure we're going to go win a championship this year. I don't think that'll be the case, but it is a nice step towards trying to be good, is being in the playoffs in general, because Detroit, of course, is a team that has not tasted the playoffs in quite some time. Back when they had Blake Griffin, but I mean, they got smoked when they were there. Milwaukee killed them in 4, I think, if I remember correctly. So let's make current round against Cleveland, and let's see if we can beat them in round 1. And we are going to beat them in 6 and go on to round 2. That is exciting stuff. So we beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is also cool because that's Bickerstaff's former team, of course, that he coached. They got rid of him, and we got revenge for him and beat them in round 1. So Cleveland really need to start looking at themselves in the mirror and making some crazy moves because, yeah, not really where you want to be if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers. You want to be contending with Donovan Mitchell. But we get Indiana in round 2. This team looks pretty good, and I don't know if we'll be able to beat them, but you never truly know until you just start simulating. So this will make current round against them. And we got an even, or they're up 2-1, I should say. We evened it up, though. I guess I just kind of saw the future and said, hey, we're going to even this up. Now let's see if we can win game 5. I don't know if we'll go. I mean, it's there for the taking. We might win this game 5. Maybe it's a close one. If we can win this one, nope, we're going to lose. So it looked good there for a second, but can we force a game 7 at home in Detroit to force game 7 back to Indiana? Can we do it? And it doesn't look like we'll be able to unless, nope, we're done for. So we will have a very fun, exciting series, but unfortunately, we're not ready to go to the conference finals. I mean, it would have been awesome if in year number, 2? We already made the conference finals, but we get Indiana and Minnesota, and it will be Minnesota going on to win the championship. So, Kevin Durant retires, Brook Lopez retires, DeRozan retires. All right. Lottery is not going to matter for us this year, which is great because we finally made the playoffs. I believe we traded our pick anyway, and the Rockets get it, and then I think we traded our next year pick as well. The staff signing, Bickerstaff, of course, will leave as the head coach. We just had a lot of success with them. On draft night, I don't think we have a pick from anybody, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, no draft picks at all, so let's just go straight to player options. Options, we got everybody, which I will accept every single person here. And then qualifying offers, Wendell Moore and Jalen Duren. So obviously, Jalen Duren, Jaren Jackson are both free agents. I tried to extend Jaren Jackson a couple times. He was not budging. So we gotta get him back. So he does have no good offers so far, but we are gonna go ahead and give him a 5-year deal, no questions asked. We traded for him for a reason. We will sign Jalen Duren. So our front court's going to be quite expensive, for sure. But I do believe in these two guys helping us eventually get a championship. So hopefully it pays off. So Wendell Moore is a free agent. We don't really have like a ton of money to spend. We can get like Isaac or something. But we got Cade Sasser. We got Hugo, John Kachar, Ron Holland, Asar Thompson, Isaiah Stewart, Jaren Jackson, and Jalen Duren. So the one thing we do truly need to me is a backup 5. Like, I don't really like my... we could re-sign Paul Reed, but I think we go somewhere else with that. That'd be great too. So don't really like it a free agency. Chris Coloco's here. We could just go get Paul Reed, like I said, get him back. Maybe that is the right move to do. Let's see, averaged 3 and 3 for us last year. Coloco's here as well. Also could just kind of see what maybe like a John Conchar and Klitman could get me or something like that. So let's see what that would get me. I don't know if a good center would pop up for these two guys. Killian Hayes, we can bring him back. I don't think so. Conchar and let's say Eisen. If not, maybe the best move, we can get Nurkic, which if I didn't think he'd regress, maybe I'd be interested in that, but he will probably regress. So I think we just re-sign B-Ball Paul at this point. Landale, Adams, like Coloco is kind of fun as well, but I will just go ahead and re-sign B-Ball Paul. He's pretty cheap as well. So that gives us our backup 5 still. So Paul Reed, welcome back. And then we could also re-sign Wendell Moore, which I think I'll go ahead and do just for more depth. So welcome back, Wendell Moore. He's also 6'5", so maybe we'll get away with moving him to small forward if need to. But yeah, that might be kind of all we do. So we didn't really do anything too intriguing as far as like major changes, but I do think Hugo is going to progress pretty nicely here. Asar might even go up even more. So like we're still going to be on the upwards trajectory no matter what we do here. We made the playoffs last year, got to round 2, and we got Cade up to a 91. Asar's up to an 86. Durant 85. Hugo 81. Great to see that. Ron Holland 80. So yeah, a lot of guys developing already. We do have quite a few, like Eisen is up, Wendell Moore is up as well. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity here to eventually make another big move if needed. That backup center position, maybe we could upgrade that at the deadline because Paul Reed's only a 75 overall, and I would like a better backup center for sure. So that might be the move we do at the deadline. We might look into that. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and simulate year number 3. So as I kind of mentioned, we stopped at the trade deadline here, and I'm kind of looking at a variety of different centers, but Capella is something that definitely crossed my mind here. Getting him as a backup center, a veteran at 32 years old who's played in the playoffs before. Kind of want to see if I can land him from Miami here at the deadline, and they are going to decline my first offer. What if I threw a second? I'm not looking to trade a first year if I don't have to. So another second, and all right. So what if we remove B-Ball Paul? And what if we threw Eisen in here instead? That might be a little too much to pay for Capella, but I don't know. Do we want to do it? Kwame Evans is down here as well, who, could develop really nicely. So I don't know. I guess we throw Eisen in here and see what they say. And they still don't say yes to that. Okay. So if we don't get Capella, I also try to go for Zubac, but he's making a little too much money, unfortunately. Capella will be our backup plan here in just a second. Mitchell Robinson doesn't sound too bad either. Getting him off the bench sounds all right. Making he's a little bit younger than Capella, so maybe we could do something like this with Utah. So go John Conchar, 2 seconds for Mitch Robinson. They agree. All right, so we'll grab Mitch Robinson to be our backup 5. I don't mind that. He'll be a really nice backup center for this team. So whoops, they don't want to put him in yet. Let's fix that now, and that should put him in. So boom, just like that, he's in. So Mitch Robinson becomes our backup 5. So I really wanted to fix that. That gives us a great foundation. I love the rotation we got going on. Everyone's an 81 overall at the very least off our bench. And starting 5 is developing very nicely as well. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to simulate after we just landed Mitch Robinson. And hopefully this team only gets better from here. So another really solid season for your Detroit Pistons as we won 52 games this season. Doesn't look like we have any All-NBA representatives unless we get... No, we do get Cade making All-NBA third team. So we didn't see him last year if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I just didn't see him last year. So third team All-NBA. Nope, did not make it last year. So he makes it this year. Was really solid for us. And like I said, we won 52 games. Asar making all defensive team is great to see as well. So second team all defense for Asar Thompson, which is great. And then we ended up as the 4th seed in the East. So 52 games, only the 4th seed, which is intriguing because that makes the East Conference damn good. But here are player stats. He had 20 from Cade. Sasser has been really good for us. Hugo with 16, Jaren Jackson with 15. So all around, outside of Cade Cunningham, it's kind of a collective second option kind of thing because Sasser and Hugo are leading the way. So Sasser could really be, considered for, 6th man of the year, but did not get it anything like that. But get Toronto in round 1. So let's see if we could beat them to get to round 2 once again. So Toronto, of course, got Liam, you got Quickly, you got RJ Barnes, Jakob Poeltl, Jacoby Walter, and Jamal Shed. So let's go ahead and see if we can quickly beat the Toronto Raptors. Are you guys tired of my puns with Emmanuel Quickly? Because, man, there's just so many you could do. Somebody come around against Toronto, and we quickly beat them in 6. Okay, I'm done. All right, let's go play the Pacers again. So the Pacers, we did push a little bit last year, but unfortunately for us, we did get bounced, and they got the best of us. So let's see if we can return the favor. So they actually want to start Isaiah Stewart over Jaren Jackson. I can't get behind that. I cannot get behind that. We got to start Jaren Jackson. Let's not fix, if it's not broke, don't fix this. Game 1 is going to go to Indiana by 1. Game 2, we take 1 in Indiana, though. We blow them out, actually. Game 3, can we take care of both home court games? And yes, we do. All right, we have the ultimate advantage in this series, and we are going to go back to Detroit for this game 6. And I would love, of course, nothing more than to win this and be a championship, or sorry, not a championship team, because we still got to go to the conference finals. But man, if we can win this one, close them out in Detroit in game 6 and not blow a 3-1 lead, that'd be beautiful stuff. It is going to be a very close one here, so hopefully we can hang on to this lead, and it looks like we're going to be able to, unless we blow a freaking 9-point lead in like 52 seconds. But no, we beat them 93-106, and just like that, this year we do best the Pacers, and we're on to the conference finals. So now we get Chicago, they got Kobe White, Giddey, got Montez Buzelis, Boozer, Jalen Smith, Audisumu, Patrick Williams, Zach LaVine, and Isaiah Jackson. So let's simulate through game. Game 1, 1-0. Great start. Take first game in Chicago, and we take both in Chicago, so that's awesome. Game 3, they take one in Detroit, and we take the other one. So can we beat them in 5? Chicago, nope. We're going back to Detroit once again for a game 6. Let's see if we can come out here and win it to avoid a game 7 back in Chicago. It's going to be a close game once again with the Bulls here, just like it was with Indiana. But it's looking good right now for us to take care of business, and we are going to the NBA Finals. And this is only, what, like year 3 at this point? Now we're going to get the Spurs and the Timberwolves. Of course, it is going to be the Spurs, though. So we get to deal with Wemby. Now, we do have the size, I think, to deal with them, like Jaren Jackson. We have Kessler as well. But yeah, we got, Mitch Robinson, Jaren Jackson, Duran. So hopefully that's enough size to deal with Wemby. Of course, Wemby is going to be unguardable. It's going to be really hard to stop him. But hopefully we can slow him down a little bit. So here we go. Game 1 goes to us. Good start. We take first game in San Antonio, and they're going to take the other one. All right, so as long as we can win both our games in Detroit, we should have an advantage in the series. So let's see if we can win the first one. I really don't want to lose this game 3. I would love to win it, and it's going to be a close one, and they're going to take it at the very end. 114-113, a very close game. Now, if we go down 3-1, that'll probably be all she wrote. So this is going to be another really close game with San Antonio. We have the lead right now. Just don't blow it. Just win this one to even this series up, and we are going to do just that. So we're not dead yet, and now I go to a game 5. Now, this is obviously the most important game of the series at this point. If you win this, you take the 3-2 lead with one game to go win the championship, but this one's in San Antonio, so it's going to be a close one here. We tied up a few times, and now we take the lead. All right, can we hang on to it is the question. Game 5 for all the marbles. It is a very close game. I think we jump in and watch game 5. I think we do. Makes all the sense in the world to do so. I'm not going to play it out. I simply want to see what my team could do against San Antonio. I think this is too much of a high-pressure situation for me personally. So let's just watch what happens with the Spurs and Spurs and Pistons here. So they're going to give it to Igor Dimin, I think that is. All right, so we got Robinson on Wemby. All right, Robinson gets just absolutely it's Wemby. Like I said, Wemby is going to be tough to guard. All right, well, here we go. Cade Cunningham's going to have the ball. So we don't have Jaren Jackson. Instead of Duran and Robinson out here, which is interesting, I guess. Like, the spacing sucks, but the size is there. I mean, they have Kessler and Wemby in their own right, too. So Cade kind of had an open shot, but he's going to take the mid-range instead. He's going to nail it. 102 to 101. Okay. Kind of wonder if he'd take the 3, but he didn't. So he takes the mid-range. We get the lead back. Now Asar's guarding Igor. So Igor's going to give it to... Oh, I thought Robinson had a steal there. But Wemby's going to get it down low, and they're going to take the lead back. So 2 lead changes so far as we've jumped in. Now we got the ball back. So Cade is going to shoot another mid-range, and that one's not going to go in. So Kessler's going to grab the board. We're down 1 still. We got to get a stop here. Of course, I know who they're probably going to. It's going to be Wembanyama down low. Wemby is about to get the ball, and then Vassell takes the 3, and he's going to miss it. Wow, that would have been a massive 3 for them. 53 seconds left on the clock. Jaren Jackson is on the floor now, I just noticed. So Jaren Jackson. And then, wow, we got 3 guys out here. Duran is going to... What the hell was that, bro? Are we serious with that shot, Duran? That's what we're shooting? Okay, so that's going to be a turnover on the Spurs. So that's massive. But that was... Dude, I don't know what Jalen Duran was thinking here. But, all right, so we have our starting 5 out here, it looks like, finally. So Hugo's on the floor. No more, no spacing. We got that taken care of. So Cade's going to try to take Vassell. He's going to get fouled. So he's got this... Or that's Castle. Sorry, that's not Vassell. That's Castle. Okay. Can we make both to take the lead back? He's going to make the first one. So at least it's tied right now. All right. He makes the second one to take the lead, and he does. All right, 104 to 103. San Antonio's going to get the ball. Of course, they're going to Wemby. All right, Duran, I need you to lock Wemby up. Oh, I thought he... Dude, I thought he backcourted for a second. Like, I thought I saw the violation, but they just called timeout. Okay. San Antonio called their final timeout. They're going to talk things over here. We have a timeout as well in our back pocket. So let's see if we get a stop. Keldon's on the floor. All right. They're going to give it to Stephon Castle. Cade's guarding him. Of course, we know where they're going. They're going to Wemby. Duren, I need you here. Can Duren get a stop on Wembanyama? Oh my gosh. Good defense. Good defense. We get the board. Holy moly, Duren. You're a freaking animal. They're going to foul Cade Cunningham. He's going to go to the free throw line. Now, this doesn't mean this game is over. This can only make it a 3-point game. But man, that was great defense by Duren to win this game 5. And we're going to, or to try to win this game 5 because it's not over yet. All right, so they're going to have to shoot a 3 here. See if we can make sure they don't. Vassell's got it. Or it's Castle. I keep saying that's Vassell. Sohan is the guy you choose to shoot the 3. I am so okay with that. Sohan is not the guy that should be taking that shot. All we got to do is knock down 1, and this becomes a 4-point game. And that should be all she wrote. Cade will make the first one, and that should be game 5 going to us. Wow. Jeremy Sohan shooting that was pretty wild. I did not expect that. But Wembanyama is going to shoot the front court heaver or the full court. Not going in. We win game 5, and now we head back to Detroit for a massive game 6. Here we go with this game 6 in Detroit to take them out. We start off really hot here, and I think we might have done it. We're blowing them out, and I think we might bring a championship to Detroit, and we do. 111-133. It was a very competitive game 5, but it looks like we took their spirits out of them because we blow them out in game 6. Cade is your finals MVP. What a beautiful way to end this video. Honestly, felt like this rebuild went very smoothly. I really love the Jaren Jackson trade we made. Hugo ended up being a good draft pick, of course, as well. Ivey, thank you for your sacrifice, but you were gone. We had to make it happen. I'm going to end it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.